You know, every time you get in your car, you're entering into a kind of secret conversation. I'm not talking about the radio. I'm talking about the road itself. All those signs, the guardrails, the lights we usually just tune out. What if I told you they're not just background noise? They're actually a language, one designed specifically to keep you safe. So today, let's learn how to listen.
Just picture it for a second. It's late at night, maybe it's pouring rain, and you're on some unfamiliar twisty road. You're gripping the wheel, peering into the darkness, but something is there, guiding you, keeping you on the pavement. So what is it? What's the invisible force that's really stopping things from going horribly wrong?
Well, I can tell you for sure, it is not luck. It is a system, a really, really smart system. Every single reflector, every painted line, every guardrail, it's like a word in a sentence. And this language is constantly speaking to you, the driver. It's there to guide your eyes, to protect you from a crash, and sometimes even to change the way you drive. So how are we going to crack this code? Well, first we'll look at the official rulebook. Then we'll get into the philosophy behind it all. After that, we'll check out how roads guide our eyes, how they protect us when things go wrong, and even how they nudge us to be safer drivers. And by the end of this, I promise you'll hear the road talking too.
Okay, so first things first. Where does this whole language even come from? It's not like road engineers just make this stuff up as they go. Oh no, there is an official grammar book, a set of rules that everyone in South Korea has to follow.
And here it is. It's called the Korean Design Standard, or KDS for short. If you really want to get into the weeds, the specific document is KDS 446000, and it's basically the master blueprint for every road safety feature. Think of it as the official dictionary for this hidden language. It's the reason why a road in Seoul speaks the exact same safety language as a road in Busan.
But before anyone even thinks about installing a guardrail, they have to start with the why. There's a whole philosophy behind this, you know? It's not just about putting stuff out there, it's about putting the right stuff in the right place for all the right reasons.
And these 7 principles are the heart of it all. Everything has to be super visible, it has to be put in the most effective spot, and there shouldn't be any unnecessary clutter. It's got to be consistent everywhere in the country to avoid confusion. But honestly, the most important one, the real game changer, is that last one, user-centric. Everything, and I mean everything, is designed from your perspective, the driver's. It's all about you.
All right, let's talk about the road's #1 job, simply helping you see where you're supposed to go. This is so crucial, especially at night or when the weather's bad. Your eyes need help, and the road has some pretty clever tricks to give you that help.
I bet you've seen both of these about a million times. On the left, we've got delineators. Those are those little reflectors on posts that you see lining the highway. Their job is to create a nice, smooth, predictable path for your eyes to follow. But on the right, you've got chevron signs. These guys are totally different. They don't just mark the edge of the road. They are basically screaming at you, hey, sharp curve coming up and it goes this way. They're a much louder, more urgent command for a very specific danger. And believe me, deciding where to put these isn't a guess. It is pure science. The KDS has a precise formula. For example, if a road is designed for cars going 80 kilometers per hour and it has a curve that's 340 meters or tighter, well, it's not a suggestion, it has to have chevron signs. It's engineering, not just decoration. The faster the speed limit, the more warning you need for those curves.
Okay, let's switch gears. Tunnels. Have you ever been driving on a bright sunny day and noticed that the entrance to a tunnel is just insanely bright? Like even brighter than the daylight you're in? Well, that's not a mistake. There's a critical safety reason for that. So your eyes take a little while to adjust from bright sunshine to the dark of a tunnel. It's a process called dark adaptation, or Amsunung. If the entrance was just dark, it would look like a terrifying black hole, and you'd have no way of seeing a stalled car or some debris right inside. So the entrance zone is blasted with light to make the inside visible from the outside. Then, as you go through the transition zone, the lights slowly dim, letting your eyes adjust safely. The inside is just basic lighting, and then the exit zone brightens back up, so you're not blinded when you pop back out into the sun. It's literally a choreographed light show for your eyeballs.
So guiding your eyes is plan A. But let's be real. Sometimes things go wrong. A driver gets distracted, a patch of ice appears out of nowhere. When a crash is about to happen, a whole other part of the road's language takes over, the part designed to handle the brutal physics of an impact.
So to pick the right kind of protection, engineers first have to ask, how bad could a crash here possibly be? They figure that out using a metric called impact severity, or 충격도. It's this formula that mixes a car's speed, its weight, and the angle it might hit at to figure out how strong a barrier needs to be. The barriers then get a grade, from SB1 all the way up to SB7. A barrier on a high-speed expressway, as you can imagine, needs a much higher grade than one on a quiet side street.
Once they know how strong the barrier needs to be, they have to pick a type. And broadly speaking, there are two kinds. On one hand, you have flexible barriers, like those metal guardrails we all know. They're designed to bend and crumple, basically to act like a cushion that absorbs the energy of the crash and softens the blow. Then you have rigid barriers, like solid concrete walls. They do the complete opposite. They don't budge an inch. Their job is to shove the car back onto the road and absolutely prevent it from going into oncoming traffic or off a cliff. So it's a choice. Do you absorb the hit or do you contain it?
And then there are the places where hitting something head-on is a real danger. I'm talking about that sharp concrete point where an exit ramp splits off, or a massive bridge support right by the shoulder. For those spots, you need impact absorbers, those big, yellow, barrel-looking things. Their only job in life is to be completely destroyed. They're there to just crumple and soak up all the force from a direct hit, saving you from hitting a solid, immovable object. They're basically the sacrificial heroes of the road.
Now, this is where the road's language gets really sophisticated. It's not just about reacting to danger anymore. Now it's about proactively shaping how we drive to stop the danger from even happening in the first place. It's like a bit of road-based psychology.
Let's start with the humble speed bump. It has one very clear mission: to physically make you slow down to 30 kilometers an hour or less. And that's why the KDS rules are so strict about where they go. You'll only find them near schools, in quiet neighborhoods, places where slow speeds are critical. You will never, ever find one on a main road, because its job isn't to mess up traffic flow, it's to protect people in specific low-speed zones.
But what about the driver who's getting a little sleepy, or maybe glancing at their phone? Well, the road has a very loud wake-up call for them. Rumble strips. The second your tire drifts over them, they launch a two-pronged attack on your senses. You hear that loud brrrr sound, and at the exact same time you feel that jarring vibration through the steering wheel. It's a physical, audible alarm designed to snap your attention back to the road, right now. Here's a number for you: 90 centimeters. That is the standard required height for those fences you see running down the middle of busy city streets. And they serve a brilliant dual purpose. For one, they're just high enough to be really annoying for a pedestrian to try and climb over, which discourages dangerous jaywalking. And two, they physically block cars from trying to pull a risky illegal U-turn. It's such a simple, elegant fix for two very common, very dangerous problems. So there you have it. We've looked at the rules, the philosophy, and some of the specific vocabulary of the road. From the things that guide your eyes, to the things that cushion a crash, to the things that gently nudge you to slow down. All these pieces work together, creating this incredible, dynamic safety system.
And this is really what it all boils down to. A road is not just a passive strip of asphalt you drive on. It's an active safety partner. It is constantly communicating with you on every single trip, offering warnings, giving guidance, and providing protection. The only thing you have to do is learn how to listen.
So that's my challenge to you. The next time you're behind the wheel, really look. See the chevron signs not as just signs, but as a warning. Hear the rumble strip not as a noise, but as a wake-up call. Notice that fence and understand why it's there. See these things not as just objects, but as words. So, on your next drive, what will the road say to you?